From the mists of antiquity emerges the vast tapestry of what we today call Russia, a land forged by diverse peoples whose stories stretch back to the 2nd millennium BCE, when Indo-European, Ural-Altaic, and other groups inhabited its expanse, their customs and struggles now lost in time. Encyclopedia Britannica. Amid this prehistoric terrain, humans left traces that would shape scientific exploration, but it was only in 862 CE that the narrative of a cohesive Russian polity truly begins. That year marked the founding of the Rus state in the north, ruled by Varangians, and in 882 Prince Oleg of Novgorod seized Kiev, uniting the Eastern Slavs under one rule and laying the groundwork for Kievan Rus. Wikipedia. During the High Middle Ages, Kievan Rus flourished, adopting Christianity in 988 from Byzantium, introducing the cultural fusion of Slavic, Scandinavian, and Byzantine traditions that became central to Russian identity. Wikipedia. Yet, by the 13th century, internal discord and the devastating Mongol invasions, 1237 to 1240, shattered the unity of Rus, pushing its capital and power eastward to the emerging Grand Duchy of Moscow. Wikipedia. Tufts now. Over the ensuing centuries, Moscow asserted dominance over disparate principalities, particularly under Ivan III, who laid the foundation for a centralized Russian state. In 1547, Ivan IV, known as Ivan the Terrible, crowned himself Tsar of Russia, creating the Tsardom and wielding ruthless autocratic power. His reign saw both state consolidation and brutal oppression, culminating in the time of troubles after his heir's death in 1598, a chaotic period of famine, civil strife, and foreign intervention. This tumult ended in 1613, when Michael Romanov ascended the throne, inaugurating the Romanov dynasty that would rule for centuries. Wikipedia. The 18th century heralded transformation. In 1721, Peter the Great modernized Russia, declaring the Russian Empire and founding the capital at St. Petersburg, reshaping society along Western lines. Wikipedia. His successor, Catherine the Great, reigning 1762 to 1796, continued this path, expanding borders across Europe and Asia, championing the Enlightenment, and cementing Russia's standing as a dominant continental power. Time. Wikipedia. Despite imperial grandeur, Russian life remained overwhelmingly agrarian, plagued by serfdom and military burdens imposed on peasants, and simmering tensions in the late 19th and early 20th centuries began to erode the old order. Vocal. The specter of three catastrophic invasions, by Mongols, Napoleon, in 1812, and Hitler during World War II, 1941, underscored Russia's historical posture of defensive resilience. Tufts now. These crises, however, did not prevent the eventual collapse of the imperial regime. By 1917, revolutionary fervor engulfed the nation. The fall of Tsar Nicholas II in the February Revolution ushered in a short-lived provisional government, only to be supplanted by the Bolsheviks and Vladimir Lenin in the October Revolution. Civil war followed, but by 1922 the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, USSR, was born, a new communist superpower molded by Lenin's leadership and built upon Marxist ideology. Wikipedia. +2. Wikipedia. +2. After Lenin's death, Joseph Stalin rose to power, ruling with iron-fisted totalitarian control, implementing forced collectivization, rapid industrialization, and political purges that left indelible scars on Soviet society. After Stalin's death, the USSR endured with leaders like Khrushchev, who began limited de-Stalinization, and Brezhnev, whose long rule brought stability yet stagnation. The final Soviet leader, Mikhail Gorbachev, introduced sweeping reforms, perestroika, restructuring, and glasnost, openness, that inadvertently accelerated the dissolution of the Soviet state, culminating in its collapse in 1991. Wikipedia. +1. In the wake of the Soviet collapse, the Russian Federation emerged. Boris Yeltsin became the first president, steering a turbulent transition to democracy and a market economy under extreme challenges. During this era, prime ministers like Chernomyrdin, Primakov, Stepanishin, and Kazyanov navigated shifting political currents. Wikipedia. +1. The real turning point arrived with Vladimir Putin, initially prime minister in 1999, then president, who centralized power, reasserted state control, and projected a narrative of a strong, unified Russia asserting itself globally. Reuters. Financial Times. Le Monde d'Affaires. In contemporary Russia, state-driven exhibitions and narratives reinforce patriotic unity amidst the Ukraine conflict. One such exhibition, showcasing symbols like the Tsar Bomba and glorifying Russian history and military might, was recently declared a permanent landmark in Moscow to bolster national pride. Reuters. Yet critics note that Putin's historical narratives often repeat themes of autocratic unity and suppression of dissent, echoes of centuries of Russian governance that prioritized the strength of the state over individual freedoms. Financial Times. Le Monde d'Affaires.